What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Hardworking Happy Hour. I'm Sean.
And I'm Catherine, and as always, we'll be breaking down all things trades, entrepreneurship, and turning your creativity into a passion career.
All right, so we are here at Hardscape North America, and we have a very special guest.
Yes.
We have Richard Carroll, RC Outdoor.
Welcome.
What's up, guys?
One of my good friends from many years
5
of
or
life.
7 or 8.
Yeah, many years.
True.
We've spent lots of time talking on the phone.
Late nights.
Yeah, not so much anymore. You got big time and stopped calling poor old Sean.
I still think about you often.
Yeah, perfect. For anybody not familiar with Richard, obviously check him out, RC Outdoor. Doing some incredibly unique, custom backyards, just really, really cool stuff. And just over the short course of, what have you been in business, like 5 years now?
Yeah, we turned 5 in June.
You look
Feels
like an old 5.
15.
Yeah.
I know. Thanks, Sean.
But anybody that doesn't know, he's absolutely killing it, doing some
Yes,
really, really creative
impressive
stuff. So definitely check him out. And I'm excited to I know a lot of your story, but let everyone else know a little bit more about your story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Cool.
get into it.
All right.
Let's roll, baby.
So, what do you want to give your little spiel about what you do?
Yeah, so we've been in the game 5 years. I would say that we do creative outdoor living. Now we're kind of in a little niche market. We're doing pools, plus the patio, outdoor kitchen, fire pit, lighting. Kind of dialing in between 6 and 10 jobs a year.
Oh, nice.
Kind of started out in hardscapes year one and was willing to do whatever it took to get in the business and to make money. Was kind of willing to clean gutters and rake leaves, and fortunately we got some good clients and word of mouth, and we've done hardscapes since day one. So got a really good team, got a new team this year, super blessed by them, and I've been pushing the YouTube this year a little bit, and yeah, it's been going good. It's been challenging with the pool game. We've gotten some more equipment, bigger equipment.
What do you mean all new employees? Did you have no employees and then go to a bunch of employees?
Complete turnover.
Oh, okay.
So I had a guy that was with me for 3 years. He left back in January. He was an older guy, just the wear and tear on the bodies. I mean, you get it, right?
Yeah.
He was mid-50s. He couldn't do it anymore. And then I had a young kid that I fired back in June. He was worthless.
Not
and
cutting
I
it.
just let him hang around, and just finally, like I just let him hang on for too long.
Yeah.
And I knew it would suck in the beginning because we had a lot of work lined up.
Yeah.
But like for my mental state, like I couldn't stand the kid. He was just driving me nuts. I shouldn't say that. I like the kid. I tried to like invest in him. I tried to like speak through him, but he just wasn't bringing it, you know?
Yeah.
So cut him. I got a new guy in January who's been like huge blessing. I mean, the guy would go to war with me. I mean, every day he's boss. What can I do for you today? You know, and I'm just like, you're amazing. Like, thank you. We got 2 other young kids who've been with us for 2 or 3 months. So lots of young talent, just being patient and teaching them the craft. And yeah, that's where we're at. So we're on big jobs now. So we need the extra hands to kind of help out. And a lot of times we'll break out in like pairs of 2, like 2 guys work on the kitchen, 2 guys work on the pool, vice versa. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Now, when you started, you've been in it 5 years. You were, I don't want to say late into starting your own business, but
Call me old?
Yeah, I mean, fairly,
40,
yes. So you started when you're 35.
Right.
You know, I think the biggest thing when you're starting a business is like a lot of people start younger where they just don't have a lot of responsibilities, so it's not as big of a risk. You left... you know, a stable career, you were doing design, and leaving that when you have a family and all that kind of stuff, it gets a lot scarier. Like, I did it when I just didn't, there was no other better option for me to do. It was like, well, I'm not going to make less money doing this because I'm making like $12 an hour somewhere. So, like, there was no risk. What was, like, your mental process taking that jump? Was it years in the making, or was it just like, okay, I'm going to do this, and like it was a quick turnaround?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's something like.
Thank you.
Like
Appreciate it.
good.
I thought it was a good question. Yeah.
Well, it's just cool. Like I don't think about like day one. Like I'm just like putting myself back in that year when you were talking about that question. But I remember like I'm trying to think. So we had like a 6-month-old My wife had just started a new job. I kind of quit my job in a win, but not really. So like, I was with a company that had really bad company culture, and it was just miserable day in and day out. Never really like wanted to start my own business, and so being with that crew and just like hating life like made me think of another way to like get out of it. And so I found Instagram. I saw guys doing some really cool stuff, and then read a couple books, went to a couple like showcases, saw Pay for Pete talk, got fired up, and then quit 6 months later. And yeah, so like it was in a time where like I had to like make money, like I had to succeed. I couldn't play around. I had to like. So what's really cool is I've paid myself every week since like the day I started my business, and that was one thing like I had to do. Like I couldn't keep putting money back in the business. I had kids, I had a wife, and we had another on the way another year later. So like I had no other option but like step it up and ball out, you know. So
that should like put you in the Entrepreneur Hall of Fame. You've paid yourself every week since day one.
Really impressive.
Yeah, crazy enough. Like I just increased my pay in January for like the first time since day one. So I've been paying myself weekly, like the same, putting a lot back in the business. In January, I started, like, like doubled my salary. So it's been tough. It's been hard, but
yeah,
I think that's cool. Like you gotta like pay yourself. You gotta make it worth it.
Yeah,
you know?
Especially when you have those kind of responsibilities to like a 6-month-old.
Yeah,
wife starting a new job. That's a lot, you know. Which I think it can be scary, but it's also a huge motivator. Like, you don't really have another option. Like, I mean, you do sort of, but like, you know, you got to make it happen or figure out really quick that it's not going to work and do something else.
Right.
So that's awesome. And I think one of the things that was really cool watching you was like one of your first jobs was like a really cool patio. It was that like 2-level paver patio, had that circular fire pit area. That was like your first job, right?
First job.
And that's a job where either we had some jobs like that right in the beginning, but it was because I was just doing the job. The budget was like not there at all, and I was like, I'm just gonna do it, whatever. Yeah. You kind of like sold it for what it was worth, delivered on it, and it turned out awesome. And it was like after your first project, you had like an awesome picture for your portfolio.
100%.
Day one. Walk us through like how'd you do that? I always tell people it's impossible. I say you either have to, you know, you have to make a sacrifice on making the money in the beginning or just take the boring jobs and you'll probably keep doing those.
I mean, I would say like I would probably charge double that today. I mean, I wouldn't say that like I charged appropriately, but I knew I had to take that job to get where I wanted. I mean, it was 4 levels. The kitchen was 15 by 15 L shape. Keep in mind, I've never built a patio, never built a kitchen. Like, couldn't use a laser. We had a gas fire pit. We had a sitting wall all the way around it. We had 3 or 4 steps on each level. We had 25 lights. We had, it was crazy. I mean, I remember like coming home and just like, there were days where I like couldn't feel my left hand. Like it was like numb for like weeks. And I don't know what it was from. I was just like driving myself crazy. But I would come home and I would get on YouTube and like, let's see how to build a kitchen. I got to build a kitchen tomorrow. So I get on like YouTube and like watch these videos. And I don't know if you know Josh at Mass Hardscapes. Yeah. Used to be in the business. He's not anymore. But he would make these YouTube videos, these walkthroughs of kitchens. And that's literally how I did that first job. Yeah. I had buddies that would work, 10 hours a week. Had a guy that would come in for a day to help me. My uncle flew in from Houston, Texas for a week and a half. We worked like 10-hour days for a week. It was crazy. But from that job, we got tons of pictures, tons of like wealth of knowledge of how to do things. And so like after that job, I knew how to build a kitchen, fire pit, knew how to install lights, knew how to build steps.
Yeah. Where did you get the confidence, or not like, where did you find the confidence to go from that, like a non-building position to like completely change everything to being like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to build this and I'm going to build it?
I don't know. I mean, I still feel like today, like I sold 3 pools without even getting into pools. Yeah. I had no clue how to put a pool in. And they're like, hey, can you put in the sunken patio beside this pool? Mm-hmm. I've never even put a pool in. And I'm like, sure, we'll figure it out. Like, I just feel like there's always like, there's so much knowledge out there. There's so much stuff. Like Sean, like so many guys that I can call and ask. Like, I feel like so much is possible. Like, I'm sure you've done it where you've sold a job and been like, I have no clue how I'm going to do it, but we're going to figure out a way.
I think there was one that that didn't happen on, that I was like, I'm confident in this from the beginning. Every job's like, I put this in a computer drawing, and we sold one that had like this ridiculous cantilever. I basically took like where there would be a corner post on a roof and just took that out, and I was like,
I remember that one, the ghost post, or
the phantom post.
Phantom post, yeah.
I mean, I did it on a rendering. I was like, this looks cool without a post in the corner. Sold the job, everything. Then had to talk to the architect, like, it's just like a pretty standard roof, but there's no post in the corner. Figure that out. And he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Told us, what size beam we needed, what connections and everything. So I think for me, it's more when I do things like that, I think I just don't think it through that much.
Yeah.
Do you think that you just have this, like, super high confidence in yourself, or you're just like, just say and figure it out later, like, and don't think about it too much? Yeah,
so I think, I'm trying to remember the meeting where we sat down and discussed it. I think I said, I can probably do it, but let me, like, look into it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But, like, I was super interested in doing it, so I contacted a couple of pool guys that I know, and he's like, oh, for sure, you can just do this, this, and this, and, and I knew that nobody had done anything like it before, and it was going to be cool, right? We just do cool things because they're cool, right? And it's like, so that was like a learning curve. We did it. It worked. Can't believe it. And, so I don't know. I feel like we've done so much that we could, like, do anything right now, but I don't know. I guess I like the challenge.
Yeah.
I hate the challenge because it's like keeps me up at night, gray hairs and stressful, but that's why we do it, right?
Yeah.
I think you still have a lot less gray hair than I do. So step your game up.
You got some good gray hair. It looks good, though, on it. I like it.
One other thing that...
do you dye it gray?
Yeah.
Do
just
you?
to,
of course,
just to make it seem like I'm important and smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... Another thing I want to kind of pick your brain about is, like, the employee situation. You've got, like, a whole new crew this year. It seems like you're always having fun on site. You do the Flamingo Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
How important do you think that is to the team's morale, your morale? Like, do you think that helped bring these new employees in? Like, is that how they found you, and then they saw it and, like, oh, that looks like fun? Or just kind of walk us through, or is that just you, like, I'm just going to wear Flamingo Hawaiian shirts on Friday?
Yeah.
And
so, I mean, that's really important to me. I mean, just touched on earlier with my last company that we had such a bad company culture. Like, I knew that, like, that's not how I wanted to do things, and it's kind of how I became a dad. Like, I had a bad dad growing up. Well, I knew how not to be a dad, so now I know how to be a dad, right?
Yeah.
So that was one thing that was really important to me, like company culture and keeping guys happy. So we do, work lunches there every couple of weeks. We'll take them out to lunch. This year we're going to a Lions-Bears game, taking them up to Detroit.
Oh, nice.
Going to an NFL game.
That's awesome.
We have a big Christmas party. We give out prizes, cash prizes. We go to a big steakhouse, just have fun. We come up here. I've got the whole team up here, paying their way. And I think that's really important. I mean, at the end of the day, I need them to, like, work and to help us get the job done. But, like, it's good to get them involved and to see these kind of things, and makes them feel important and appreciated. And we have bonus systems. I would say I spend a lot of money on them with swag and hats and shirts and hoodies and making them look good, and boots. And I think that's important, right? You want to set yourself apart from the next guy that does what we do, right? I want to make my guys stay and not want to, like, ever leave.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
On an unrelated note, are you hiring? Are you looking for anybody?
I will always hire you, Sean.
Okay, perfect. You'll find out pretty quickly I'm not very useful.
Heard you're the blister, right?
I'm the blister. I show up after the work's
Show
done.
up when the work's done.
Yeah.
I'll still take you, though.
Yeah. All right. I'll keep it fun. I think, like, we obviously have, like, a pretty similar culture where we have a lot of fun. Like, at the end of the day, there is work to be done, but we want to have fun while we're there. Like, everybody jokes around that, like, I've just created this job to have friends and hang out with all day, which is probably partly true. But
true. That's all my friends are, my employees. So.
I spend the most time with them, so it's like, I can't imagine going to work and just having, like, a regular workplace relationship where, like, I want to go and, like, I want to be laughing most of the day
Yeah.
and having fun because
Yeah.
a lot of times it's hot out, it's cold out.
Yeah.
The work we're doing is hard,
Yeah.
heavy stuff. Like
Yeah.
the least we can do is have fun and laugh and joke around. So
Right.
Yeah.
it seems like you're right there with me on that, which is awesome. And it seems like the guys have bought into that.
Yep.
You know, watching them on their YouTube videos, like
Yep.
saying corny dad jokes. You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
Yeah.
not
I
as
feel
good
like-
as my dad jokes, but they're okay.
I think that when it comes to employees, it's important to like look at it like if your employee is presented with an offer that's like paying them slightly higher than what they would be making at your company.
Yeah.
What about your company would make them want to stay and say that's not worth it? And I
Exactly.
think that I think that we've created that culture at ours, and it really seems like you have too. And
Yeah.
like just making them feel like so appreciated and wanted, and
Yeah.
like
I mean,
why would I leave? It's a little more money, but
They-
like why would I leave?
they joke that I have to give them a 3-year heads up if I'm planning on getting out of my business. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna give another year to see how you feel about that, So, but that's kind of cool. They said that, like they enjoy it. It's hard work, but they get so much
Yeah.
satisfaction out of like
Yeah.
seeing like the finished product and
Yeah.
knowing I'm gonna take care of them and give them cool stuff. And
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
one's walking by right now.
there he is.
I really want to talk about this job that you're doing right now.
Yeah.
You've only been in your own business for 5 years, and you're doing like. First off, walk us through like some of the features that are in this project because it's huge, it's
Yeah.
massive,
Yeah.
and then tell us about how you got the job, where that lead originated from, because you told him like, I think I can do this part. Let me check, and so I want to hear throw out some of the features that are on this, and then let's talk about how you got it.
Yeah, so we've got a fiberglass pool, fiberglass hot tub. We've got 2 kitchens, smokers,
2 kitchens.
2 kitchens.
2 kitchens. One's for the appliances, one's for just like a bar to put stuff on.
Okay.
To fine china, I don't know.
'Cause why not? 'Cause
Yeah, sure.
if one
Why
outdoor
not?
kitchen's cool, why not?
Yeah.
Do 2? Yeah.
We've got a 15 by 15 koi pond with a 15-foot stream. That beginning of the stream, there's 3 big aquascape spears. They're going to be like the focal point of the whole space. We've got biggest putting green we've ever done. We've got 1,000 square feet of synthetic turf for the playground. We've got a sunken fire pit off the side of the pool that has a 15-foot long gas fire pit. 800,000 BTU. There is a. Me keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just
Yeah.
sounds made
Yeah,
up.
it
but just
does.
There's a
keep
there's a
going.
That's what
pergola
you're
that like
you're just listing things.
there's a pergola that overhangs. Like I have no clue how we're gonna build it. Maybe I'll call you, but it's a pergola. We've got some 45-degree beams that come out. I said we could do it. We'll figure it out. TVs, lighting. I think that's about it.
That's it? That's
Yeah.
all you're doing? Why aren't you done yet? That sounds,
Golly, I know.
are you allowed to say roughly what the project cost is?
Yeah, it's around $600K.
Wow.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not
That's
bad.
pretty good.
It's
I mean,
pretty good.
Maybe I'll hire you at my house.
Hey, let's go, baby.
600K. That's not bad. That's incredible, dude. That's
I know.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
5
it's kinda-
years in, you're doing a $600,000 project.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be worth every penny. Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of 15s out there. 15-foot long fire pit.
Right.
15-foot stream. 15 by 15.
Power
koi pond.
15.
Yeah.
Think about that. Pool's 15 feet wide.
There's something there
There's
for sure.
something. I like it. The putting green's 15 feet
1,500
wide.
square feet of.
Times 2
Yeah. Wow.
pavers.
Yeah, you didn't even mention
keep going.
3,000 square feet.
Oh,
of
yeah,
pavers.
3,000 square feet of pavers.
Yeah. What was this just a random lead? Was it how did this job originate? Because like this job in particular is like, this is one for a lot of companies. Like if they ever even get to that point, it's like a once in a career,
Yeah.
unbelievable project. I have a feeling it's not going to be once in a career for you. I feel like you're going to do a lot more projects like this. As soon as people see it, they're going to be like, I want that.
Yeah.
So
So
most people won't be able to afford it, but the ones that will find you.
So the lead came in through a builder. So I've been working with a builder, which I don't like builders. I don't like to work for builders, but I've been working with this guy for a couple years. He's different. He's like me. He's super creative. He's young, and he wants to do something cool. So he's including all the backyard and the new build all under one mortgage and selling
Wow.
to the customer like that. So We talked for, I don't know, several times, several years ago before we actually like decided to jump in together. So we did 2 big jobs for him last year. One of them was the biggest job we'd ever done at that point. The next one was like a driveway we did with Notre Dame emblem in the driveway, dual fire pits. And he's been building some really cool stuff, so he's attracting some really, good customers. And so he had a customer that had just sold their business, had some money sitting around, and they wanted to build a $4 million house, and they wanted to put $500,000 in the backyard. So their kids live next door with their grandkids, and their other kids live 2 houses down with their grandkids. So they're pretty much creating this like
community
resort, community for their family to enjoy. And the homeowners are probably 60, 65, like super humble. Like she came to my house last year and she had like a old dirty pair of like, white New Balance shoes, baggy, like maroon sweatpants. And I was like, are you Karen? Like, and she's like, yeah. And so it was like, I don't know. So it's really cool. Like they're really going to enjoy the space. They're awesome people. I don't work with them a lot because I work with the builder, but they bring us donuts like every week. They give us huge thumbs up from across the house. And so it's going good. So
that's awesome.
And we're already working on like 3 or 4 for this builder next year. So yeah, so builders are different. They're like us. They're weird. They see details and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But so far so good. We'll keep working that relationship.
Yeah, I think like a lot of builders. Working for builders gets a bad rap because most builders are just like putting up track homes. They're trying to do as cheap as possible, but like there are builders like that are doing custom homes that like, the backyard that you build on their custom home is going to help sell their next custom home. Yep. So, I think people need to be like open to exploring something like that. Like if you were just like, I don't want to work for a builder, you would have never gotten this job. And that's a lot of money, $600,000. That's awesome.
Yeah, and even better, so
really cool.
They have what's called the Home Builder Showcase every year. He's going to open that up to the public for a couple weekends, like around Mother's Day. So we're going to have like our team out there. We're going to have like some music. We're going to have some hot dogs grilling out. Our swag's going to be on. We're going to have RC outdoor signs. And so there's going to be like thousands of people that come in that backyard and see it. And it's like win-win.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That gets their name out.
I have a feeling in a couple years you're going to be like, yeah, we used to do like, pretty small projects, like it's around $600,000. And we don't touch anything under $6 million. And it's unbelievable that you're doing it with, 4-person team?
Me plus 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're all green. They've been here less than 7 months. So that's been challenging, but it's been fun. They love it.
Yeah.
I love those guys right there.
Yeah.
That's my team.
How long have we been going here? Are we running out of time? Do we got time for? I got one more question.
Yeah, you're good.
Let's go.
I can.
You're allowed. Yes.
Thank you so much. Equipment.
Yep.
How much do you love it?
So interesting answer. I don't love equipment.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You love what it does for you.
Yeah.
You don't love it just for equipment's sake.
Yeah, I feel like it's a necessary evil. Like I have to buy them to like produce the product that we install. So like I was trying to be lean in the beginning, but the more we get into bigger jobs, the more our jobs are like open, new construction. Like I'm wearing down. The guys love driving the equipment. It helps us be faster, more efficient, more productive.
Yeah. So
we got a new tilt rotator, and it's the greatest thing. I kind of knocked them for a long time. I was like, I would never get that. Like, why would I spend all that money on a tilt rotator? Is that what you say, tilt rotator?
Tiltator.
Tiltator.
That's the technical term
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Tiltator.
You must be new to the industry. Yeah, they're called tiltators.
So I knew I needed a big machine because I knew we were digging holes for pools, and so I was looking around trying to find a big mini excavator, and they were just so stupid expensive. And I ended up finding a guy who was selling it, Jeremy over J Squared.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Had him for one about the same price as like a new one, and I'm like, why would I just not buy this? And like tilt rotators were going for like $45-50 just for the attachment. So I bought it, and I'm like, man, I remember like going up there, and I was just like nervous. I was like, man, this is a bad decision. Like I shouldn't buy this thing. Like this is a lot of money. I was paying cash for it, but I never pay cash for anything like that. So I'm just like a nervous wreck. But like a couple weeks in,
like straight paper money.
Straight ones, like in
Yeah.
suitcases.
it was a full trailer load of money.
Yeah, I have a side job where I get a bunch of ones. And, no, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, so every day, like before any task, like how can we use this tiltrotator, like to perform this task, or could we use this? If we can't, that's fine. But it's like we're finding so many ways to like jump on that machine and do like simple tasks that take one person, zero effort. Like we're like getting fat in these equipment. Like it's so awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing, like the business that you've built over the last 5 years. Like, you know, just seeing. You probably feel like you've hit a lot of roadblocks and a lot of speed bumps along the way, which I'm sure you have. But from the outside looking in, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're building a $600,000 project. 5 years in, you have an F650 dump. You got multiple trailers. You've got would you even call that, a mini excavator? It's a pretty big one.
They still call them minis, though. I got corrected
Mini with
really
a
hard on
tiltrotator.
Instagram one time.
How many ditch? You got the
Two ditch
SK
witches.
800 and a 1550.
1550. I got a little small Cat 302 mini excavator.
What is your threshold for like deciding you need something new?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, because I'm trying to like look at a skid steer right now, and like my pain point is that the ditch witches keep breaking down on me.
Yeah.
And we're just like rugging those things. We're running ragged. They pick up a full pallet. We probably shouldn't all the time, but it like shakes and like they keep breaking down. And so I'm like, I don't know. We need a bigger machine to bring in more dirt, more rock.
Yeah.
And if I feel like we need it, like, yeah, then we need to get it. So I don't really have like any numbers or analysis. I'm bad at numbers. I know we have a little bit of money in the bank. Maybe I can afford it. I don't know. So I might buy one next week, actually.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It sounds like you're definitely going to buy
too,
one.
Sean.
Yeah, I've already sold myself on
Yeah,
it.
I'll buy one too.
You
I'll
should
buy
get
one
like
too.
a 2-for-1 deal or something.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Can we get 2 for 1?
Yeah, let's do it.
Or like a 2 for. I
I
bet they
think there's some
definitely do a
here,
2 for
so
2.
maybe you can get a show deal.
They would probably definitely do a 2 for 2 deal.
Think so?
You
Yeah, I
might be
think
able to work that
probably.
out.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll go out. We're going to go out tomorrow and ride them around, get the guys in them, see how they feel, and might just buy the one. I don't know. Probably not, but
I think you should.
Yeah.
You can buy me one. Is that gonna?
One.
Are you gonna liquidate one of your machines?
I might sell my little small mini excavator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You want it?
What's the damage? What are we talking? I'll take it.
I don't know. 35 grand. You got to come pick it up.
36 and you deliver it.
Sold.
It's only like 1,000 miles away. It's not a big deal. It'll be fine. All right. Well, I think we could go on for hours and hours.
Yes.
For sure.
And we'll do that off air. We'd love to have you back on when you deliver that mini X. We said, 26 with delivery, right?
That's right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. You know what it's time for?
The bad sales story.
Ooh.
Brought to you by Groundwork.
Brought to you by Groundwork and Richard Carroll, Varsity Outdoor.
Yes.
So bad sales story, right?
Yep.
It's not super bad, but there was one time, I think it was year 2, went out to a job, and she was an artist, like, and she was kind of crazy. I didn't really get this over the phone. So this is back when I didn't really like ask a lot of questions. I'm just like, oh, you want something cool? I'll be there in like 10, right? So I'm like racing over there, and I get over there, and she's got like a pile of dirt. She's got a pile of sand. She's got a pile of rock, and she's got like these old pavers off to the side. And she's like, yeah, we want you to build this outdoor space with us. We want you to like use all these pavers that we just tore out. We want you to use this sand. We want you to use this rock. And so I'm like, all right, so how am I going to tell her no? Like, instantly I didn't want the job, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, because she was like strong-willed. She was very opinionated. She was a wacky artist. And so like I was just getting really weird vibes. And I just kind of let her talk and go on. And it's kind of going through the paver, like old Lowe's pavers, and didn't really want to use them. Was kind of going through the sand pile, just kind of kicking around. There was some like some bones like in the sand, probably animal bones, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume they're animal bones.
Maybe.
So I don't know. It was just one of those weird situations. I wasn't good at saying no, right? And so I left, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'll touch base in a week. And like a week went on, I didn't get back to her. I think she called me, and somehow I answered the phone, which I usually don't if I don't know who you are. And I was just like, yeah. I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about it, and I'm just not comfortable doing this project for you. I really don't want to use these pavers. Like, I can't warranty it. And she just like went off on me, just yelling at me like, how can you tell me no? How can you not give me a price for this? Like, you need to give me a price. And I'm just like,
$1 million.
yeah. And I'm just like,
That's your price.
I own this business and I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have to.
Lady,
Like,
I'm a big boy.
I
I
don't
can
have
do
to
what
give
I
you
want.
anything. All right. My wife's like holding my hand, like coaching me through this whole thing. And so it was weird. Like, she was super mad that I told her no, that I wouldn't give her a price.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I was like, I got to figure out how to tell people, just tell them no.
Yeah.
Right. And so it wasn't the craziest sales story, but that was one of the weirdest ones I had. Like, she just wanted me to price it out. I didn't want to price it out.
Yeah.
I would never do a job like that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping those are animal bones, thinking about it now.
Probably not. It was probably the last contractor.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you didn't say no in person, because that would have been you.
It could have been me in that
Somebody
same
else would have
pile.
been kicking
Yeah.
your bones around. It's always so hard to say no to somebody like face to face when you're already
Yeah.
there, because like
Yeah.
you got there probably in a second. You're like, I don't want this job. This is not a
yeah.
job for me. But then
Yeah.
you have to be like nice and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sit there and listen to them the whole time. The whole time you're like barely listening, because you're like, how can I get out of here
Yeah.
quick as
Yeah.
possible without offending them? So groundwork. Do a video walkthrough. If you want to save 50% on your first 2 months, Hardworking Happy Hour 50, use that code, and you won't end up as bones in a pile of sand for someone else to find.
100%.
Yeah. Well, Richard, appreciate it, as always.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks
you
for
so
being
much.
on.
Loved it.
Thanks for
Let's
being
do
my
it again.
friend.
I love you.
Love you too.
Okay.
And we got to have you on again, because there's
do it,
Yeah.
like a million
so much
other
more
things
to
I want to
cover.
talk to you about, and maybe I'll have a chair next time.
Yeah, maybe.
Just standing the whole time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. If I set my mind to it,
Yeah.
I bet we could. Yeah.
So,
Potentially.
All right. Well, thanks again, Richard.
Yes, thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Catherine, for being my co-host.
Thank you, Sean, for being my co-host.
Thanks.
next time we'll do drinks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is the part of the episode where we just like kind of ramble on and then
Yeah.
like
Do you have
way
any
too
closing
long
thoughts you wanted to
and-
you
yeah.
wanted to
This
put
is
out
the
there?
end of the podcast.
The podcast is over now. Thank you. Okay, bye.
I was really thinking I should just kind of like
Say see you next week.
See you next week.